Hey, what's going on, guys? Markel here, back with another video. So this is my Huawei P60 Pro, almost 1 year later. And I want to answer some questions that were left from some of you guys in the States, as well as would I recommend this device moving forward? So let's get started. Okay, guys, so this is my Huawei P60 Pro. Don't need to go over the specs, excuse me. I've gone over that. 200 grams, 6.7 inch, 4G, not 5G, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigs of storage on this model. I'm currently still on EMUI 13.1.0.280, and I'm on Apple security patch. As you can see, fingerprint reader works pretty well. I don't know if I can do the Face ID with my, yep, it unlocked it. So it still works great. Now this phone I do not use as my everyday secondary device. I recently switched back to it, honestly, because I gave away the Oppo phone Saturday and I didn't want to go back to the Surface Duo. It's way too glitchy, and this one has issues I'm going to talk about right now. But to answer some of the questions from the US, I'll start with that. So, can I get all of Google's apps on this device? Currently through Lighthouse, okay, I've been able to get pretty much every app I wanted to get, and you do get the Google Play Store as you see here. I have some apps on here, but I don't keep every app that I normally would have on my other Android phones, and I'll get to that in a second. But you do have the ability to get like Twitter and Airbnb and some of the other ones. So it does offer all of the Google apps through Gbox or through Lighthouse, okay? Now, here's where we're gonna get into issues, all right? Because Gbox and Lighthouse are starting to have the same issue. Let me give you an example. When I go to Chrome right here, here's what happens, crashes, all right? There's other apps that I have here from Google. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. All of the YouTube apps though, from YouTube Studio, Music, and YouTube itself, they all seem to work. But sometimes Google Maps, Google Photos, Google, and Google Translator will crash, all right? I've never had a problem with WhatsApp. When it comes to DJI, sometimes it will crash. And then when it comes to GoPro, never had an issue. Insta will crash as well. So it just depends on what it is and where you downloaded it from. If I download from the app gallery from Huawei, okay, which all the apps are not in the Huawei gallery, as you know, it won't crash, and it'll allow me to do an update. Here's another one. You're gonna always get these ads. Every time you go in here, you're gonna get ads. So if I go to my profile on here and I go to app updates, all the apps update, no problem. And I'm able to load up whatever, and it works fine natively through the app gallery for Huawei. Where you're gonna run into problems is if there's an app, specific app you're looking for on Gbox, and Gbox and Lighthouse, same thing, their apps are starting to crash because it is a third-party way to get to Google services. It's not native to this device. So my belief is at some point, Gbox as well as Lighthouse will stop working and you won't have Google anymore. So hopefully that answers that question. With the question when it comes to, is there a Huawei store here in South America? Yes, there is. There's a Huawei, let me see. Do we still have a Huawei store? We used to have a Huawei store. They actually turned it into a Xiaomi store. There's a Xiaomi store here, but we do have Huawei little departments that are being sold in different department stores in different malls. So they still have access to Huawei. They still have access to Huawei parts. So if I were to drop this thing and break it, say I cracked the screen or the back of this device, I can still get it repaired because there's a way to get parts here. Unlike in the States, I don't know how you would actually get this thing repaired, because you would either have to ship it to China, wait, don't know how long that would take, for it to be repaired. You don't know how long that would take, and then ship it back, which again, you don't know how long that would take. Or you could try to get parts from it off eBay, off of Amazon, or any of these other Alibaba, or any of these other, warehouses that sell it. And then how you going to fix it? Are you going to repair it yourself? Do you have the ability and do you have the tools to take this apart, fix whatever it is, and put it back? So I just don't see this being a good idea to purchase in the United States. If you want to buy it for a collector's item, okay, but if you're talking about buying it to use it as an everyday phone, yeah, I don't know about that. I wouldn't recommend that at all, okay? I'm still using this plastic case that came with it, just to show you the condition of the hardware after a year of use. And again, I did not use this every single day. But I've kept it in great condition. I think I may have dropped it one time, but it was dropped on the case. So there's no scratches or anything on this device anywhere. Maybe here at the bottom, there might be, I can't really tell, but there might be something from switching out the SIM card a bunch of times. But other than that, it works well. No issues at all. It's still fast. The display still gets pretty bright. And this is one of the biggest differences right here. I can show you guys is the brightness where I was talking about the Oppo phone. See, now with this device, look at how low I gotta have the brightness in order for you to see the screen. Versus the Oppo, I had it turned all the way up and you can see everything. So if I turn this all the way up, see how it blows out? And you can't really tell what's what. That's the way the brightness should be on these devices. But when you can turn it all the way up and I can still show you apps and everything on this device, yeah, that brightness is not good enough for sunlight. That's an easy way to tell, okay? But anyway though, as far as recommendation, you're in the US, no, do not do this if you're in the US. If you're here in South America and you don't plan on using Google services or depending on Google services, you basically want to get away from Google, because at some point this third-party Gbox and Lighthouse is not going to work anymore. Even if you buy this and you go to find my device, it's going to list it as the P30 Pro, even though this is the P60 Pro. And that's because the P30 was the last device to get Google services. So as these apps start to crash slowly, those applications to get to Google will stop working completely, and then you'll just be left with the native apps on this device. So that's why I'm telling people, if you plan on getting this, a Huawei device, do not count on Google services always being there. Depend more on the native apps that come from a device like this, because it's a great device. It is a flagship phone. It would stand, if Google was still on this would stand toe to toe with the Samsungs and the iPhones out there for the photo quality. Video quality is good, but it needs some improvement. But this would stand toe to toe with those, especially due to the hardware. And you're able to fix your own aperture on this thing. Yeah, this would stand toe to toe. When it comes to the sound quality, phone call quality, it's absolutely fine. It's just, this is not 5G, so that would be a downside for a lot of people. This only being 4G and not 5G. But I have no issues with this phone other than software not getting all the updates it should get quick enough, in my opinion, as well as not having Google services reliable through those third-party apps. But natively with Huawei, it's fine. The other thing with dealing with this type of brand and Huawei are all the freaking ads. Anytime you go into My Huawei or any of these other things, you're going to get those ads. There's no way to turn them off. They only last maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds on some. There's no way to turn them off. So if you hate that, stay away from this, because you're going to get it constantly. You're going to get it all the time. All right, guys, but that's it for now. The P60 Pro, great device. Not for everybody, especially if you plan on getting Google services and you want to use Google on this. But if you're trying to get away from Google, think about picking up a Huawei, whether it's the P70 Pro, or what's the other flagship phone they come out? The Mate. I think they're on the Mate 70 now. So yeah, other than that though, man, that's gonna be it for this video. I appreciate everybody watching as always. So until the next time, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.